Well, hello, Pierre. It's a great pleasure today to greet you as my special guest, Pierre Van Obberghen from Belgium, who lives since a long time in Switzerland and in France. Pierre Van Obberghen is going to be the first presenter of the series Color Lights World Project on January 19th and 26th with his two Zoominars, Inner Colors, Inner Lights, the lazy way to enlightenment. And to start with, Pierre, could you please tell us how did your color path start? Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, sure. Actually, when I was 18 years old, I did follow a training of acupuncturist. So I learned acupuncture. And when I was learning acupuncture, uh, we learned how to put needles into the skin of people. And I told one of my fellow students, he was just next to me, I said, I don't want to put needle into the body of people, it's painful. I go to invent a system that will replace the needle and I will put color light onto the acupuncture point. I didn't know anything about colors at this moment. I didn't know that other people did already create that, like Peter Mandel was already probably doing this. But that was my first idea. And then I forget about it completely. And few years later, maybe 4 or 5 years later, when I was 22, I see somebody put light, colored light, into crystals, like quartz crystals. And he was using it for looking at it and meditating with the colors shining through the crystals. So I was really interested about colors and the crystals. And then I I think, okay, I go to use colors and crystal to work on the different chakra. And I did travel a lot. And at this time, I was living in Thailand and on the beach on a small island, very tropical island, remote area, completely remote area. And then I built up a sort of box with a lot of different filters, colored filters. And there was a lamp and a crystal. And then we was choosing the colors and putting the colors with filters under the crystals and then opening the crystals, and we were meditating with this crystal and putting it on the different chakra. So that was my first start into colors. And then at the same place, I discover by completely unexpectedly the professional color test. I did create this professional color test with the 12 colors. Um, and this professional color test did became very, very famous when I came back into the Western world in Switzerland. I present this color test to a very famous naturopath, and the naturopath, he said, that is fantastic, I love it. Can you teach it to me? And then I present it in different places, and people start to get crazy about this professional color test. And then I did a lot of research of why people like certain colors more than others. Like some people, they prefer red, some people prefer pink, some people prefer blue, and some people even don't like very much certain colors. And the color test is actually showing this. What is our chromatic identity? It's like thumbnail, not thumbnail, digital print of our energetic system and our brain, our spirit, our soul, our emotion, and our physiological states. The way that we related to colors show a lot about us. So I start to make a lot of research about color psychology, color symbolism, and actually I did discover some very specific things that was not discovered before, and I share that.
Oh, wow, that's really fascinating. Thanks a lot. Well, I met you, Pierre, about, I think, more than 10 years ago when I came to Geneva and I attended one of your courses and formations. And I made the experience that it's really highly interesting, your color symbolism and the color psychology that you have developed. Can you tell us what is especially important for you in your work as color psychologist and color light therapist?
Okay, yeah. So what is important for me, there is few things that is important, actually two main things. The first is about color psychology and color symbolism. I decided to work with a 12 color system in place of 7 colors for the 7 chakra. Sometimes people put 8 color. I decided to work with 12 color because I think it's a more complete system for me. And then one of the more important things for me is, let's say, to be honest with color psychology, to be really, really honest with color psychology. When we do color psychology, we tend to read books and to follow what other people have said about color psychology. These people say the green is the colors of the heart. So let's say the heart, because it's the chakra, fourth chakra. So the heart is about love. So green is about love. And my question was, but is it true? Is it really true? I read this in a lot of books, but does it resonate really with the unconscious of humanities? So I test a lot of people with a color test. And when I saw that some people reject green or love a lot of the green, they really love green or they reject green on the color test, I didn't find any issue related to love, relationship, compassion, etc. Then I asked myself, what does green speak? What is the meaning of green, actually? What is the meaning of green? And then I developed a whole system for the 12 color, which is called the natural color symbolism. That means when we do symbolism of colors, to refer first and before all on the nature. Where do we see green in the nature? Where do we see red in the nature? Where do we see yellow in the nature, or where do we see blue in the nature? And I think the human unconsciousness have been really conditioned for thousands and thousands and thousands of years by watching the color in the nature, and we are projecting on colors the meaning that we see in the nature. Let's say the sky is blue, and or the fire is red, or the nature is green. And I think the color symbolism is coming from that. And this is a very, very old cultural and animal, almost animal relationship with color symbolism. Then naturally on this symbolism of the natural symbolism, this is what I find important, because your question was, what is important for you? It's a natural color symbolism. Naturally, on this natural color symbolism come other meanings that are cultural or that are related to some trends, like let's say this year, this company put this color front, then it means that, etc. Cultural meaning, but those cultural meaning, they have influence, but they have a small influence compared to the natural color meaning, universal natural color meaning. They have influence, cultural meaning have influence, but it's not so important. It's like a pyramid. Cultural have a small influence, and natural color meaning have a big influence. That's what I find very important for me.
Wow, thanks. We are going to learn a lot about that in your 2 Zoominars. So Pierre, what is your favorite color? Do you have one or do you have more than one?
That's a tricky question. Actually, there is 2 answers to this. If you ask me intellectually what is my favorite colors, it will be magenta, because it's a very mysterious color. it have certain properties that that other colors don't have, in terms of symbolism, but also in terms of therapeutical properties, and also in terms of physics, because physically magenta is a very special color. It's a color that you don't see into the spectrum. If you look at the spectrum, it goes from red to violet, and you don't see the magenta. You will see magenta only if you bring two spectrum together, and when the red part of one rainbow will meet the blue part or the violet part of a second rainbow, they will mix and they will make magenta. So magenta is always a polychromatic colors. That means it's a colors that have the frequency of red, which is low frequency, large wavelength, plus the frequency of deep blue or violet, which is higher frequency. So it's very strange. It's a polychromatic colors. It have the properties of blue plus red. So it's a mix of the red earthly colors, the ground, the first chakra, and the violet, the sky, the high frequency. So it's a mix between high frequency and low frequency, and together it's make a nice connection. It do connect the chromatic circle, the spiritual world, which is the violet, with the material world, which is the red. So it's a perfect match between spiritual and material. So in my head, intellectually, I like very much magenta. But if I make a color test, I don't end up on magenta. So it's not my real preferred colors. My real preferred colors, when I do a color test, I end up into bluish, like deep blue or ultramarine blue, which is related to the third eyes or the upper part of the face. And these deep blue colors, it's the colors that I am aiming for, because I like to be in presence of these deep blue colors. And these deep blue colors have a lot of different meaning, but it's also have certain property of quietness. It brings you quietness, relaxation. It's a very soothing colors. And that's true. I need some soothing energy, because my brain sometimes is a little bit like super active, hyperactive. And so by watching these deep blue colors, it's make my brain a little bit more relaxed. And so I am aiming for some sort of relaxation, peace, calm, harmony, oneness, etc. So deep blue is like a color I like very much in my color test. Although my preferred color intellectually will be magenta, naturally that's because it's a very nice color also.
Well, I would like to add the deep blue would also be a hint that you are a very deep thinker. You are a deep color researcher and a deep color thinker.
Sure. Deep blue is also related to whatever is depth, the depth of the deep depth of the universe, the depth of the ocean, the abyss, the depth of the subconscious, the depth of the unconscious, the depth of the mind, the depth of the sleep. Into sleep, we go into another universe. So people who like deep blue, they want to go deep inside the subject that they are interested about. They are really aiming for depthness and harmony, or really deep stuff. That's true.
What I really can say you are doing in your work, Pierre. So thanks a lot. I'm looking very much forward. We can look forward to your 2 Zoominars on January 19th at 6 p.m. Central European Time, and also January 26th, the part 2. And yes, very much looking forward, and thanks a lot for this lovely chat, Pierre.
Yeah, that was a pleasure, and I'm really enjoying to see you in this next seminar. That will be fantastic. We will go to look at the meaning of every colors. We're going to make color testing for you, and we go to discover incredible meanings and properties of the 12 colors of the chromatic harmonic circle. So be there, that's going to be fun.
Yes, great. Looking forward. Thank you.